Grab some coffee, because this mystery just got strange. In 2012, a man was found dead on a dark and empty Scottish road. He had been hit by a car, and the driver just kept going. But after more than a decade, a breakthrough. Police investigating the case say they have received an anonymous letter which may hold the key to what happened. So what does it say, and could it lead them to a conviction? Let's take a look. This is the unsolved case of Ian Brown. On November 27, 2012, at around 10:30 p.m., Ian left his home in Kilwinning, Scotland to enjoy a drink at his local pub. His friends and family knew him as a regular guy who liked to have a good time. He enjoyed a drink every now and then, and was known for his great sense of humor. That evening, he was celebrating his birthday with some of his closest pals. They enjoyed several drinks together before Ian decided to call it a night and walk back to his home about 1 mile away. That's when everything changed. CCTV footage shows Ian walking down Main Street heading towards his home. It was a stormy night and heavy rain poured down. Lightning flashed, illuminating the dark street and making it brighter for a split second before plunging it back into darkness. As the minutes pass, cars can be seen driving through the light and dark cycle. At 10:38 p.m., a silver Ford Fiesta drove past the camera. This would be the last sighting of Ian alive. His body would be discovered almost 2 hours later by two young women out walking their dogs. They were shocked and frightened to see his lifeless body slumped over on the side of the road. When emergency services arrived, they found Ian laying on the ground next to a tree on Main Street in Barassi. Unfortunately, he was pronounced dead at the scene. A passing motorist had already stopped and attempted first aid, but there was nothing they could do. Ian had suffered catastrophic injuries after being struck by a vehicle. It appeared he had been trying to cross the busy road when he was mowed down by a speeding car. But why? Was it an accident, or was someone trying to hurt him? And if so, why? As the sun rose that morning, police officers stood on the side of the road where Ian had been killed. They cordoned off the area while they began searching for clues. There was no sign of the driver or any witnesses, and no one came forward with any information. It seemed like a hit and run, and that was never good. Without any solid leads, the investigation stalled. Over the next few weeks and months, detectives followed up on various lines of inquiry, but each one ended up in a dead end. Witnesses claimed the weather was so bad that night that it would have been difficult to see. Could that be why the driver didn't stop, or had they done it on purpose? Sadly, the truth was that no one really knew. The only clue they had was Ian's shattered cell phone lying next to his body. It wasn't much to go on, but they hoped it could lead them somewhere. In 2015, 3 years after the incident, Ian's family spoke out and begged for answers. They placed a large poster on the side of the same road where he was killed, in the hopes that it would jog someone's memory. Still, no one came forward. By 2018, the case had gone cold. All hope seemed lost. But a decade later, something incredible happened. Detective Inspector David Wagstaff of the Govan Police Office said they had received a letter, one that could shed some light on what really happened. But who sent it and why? Now, more than a decade after the tragedy, could it bring Ian's killer to justice? In the video we made about this case a few years ago, we looked into every possible theory, including whether it was an accident, a drunk driver, or if Ian had been purposely targeted. We even looked into his personal life to try and find a motive. Maybe it was a jealous lover or someone from his past. But there was one thing we couldn't explain, and that was the break in the case. Who sent the letter? Well, according to police, it arrived in an unaddressed envelope and was posted locally. It contained handwritten information that could help with the investigation. But what did it say? And could it lead to an arrest? The contents of the letter are being kept private to protect the integrity of the investigation. But reports claim that it contained information about a vehicle that may have been involved in the incident. If true, that would be huge news. After all, it could mean the person responsible finally felt guilty enough to come forward. The letter arrived at a crucial time. Police had recently renewed their appeal to find Ian's killer, pleading for witnesses to come forward. Then suddenly, this. Could it be a tip-off? Strangely, this isn't the first time a letter arrived. In 2019, Another letter showed up, this one containing sinister threats towards Ian's family. It read, "I hope you all rot in hell, especially you, Ian Brown. You are dead. I'm watching you. You cannot hide. God damn you." It went on to threaten Ian's mother, saying she would die soon. It was signed off with the words, "From your worst nightmare." Obviously, this was never helpful to the police investigation, but maybe this new letter will be. Officers are hopeful it will lead them to the driver, but they're keeping their expectations low. After all, it's been 13 years and many potential witnesses may have forgotten what they saw. The letter writer may have information that has long been forgotten. Maybe they saw the driver speeding away, or maybe they even saw the accident itself. Anything would help. In cases like these, police don't know what to expect. It could be a prank or genuine information. If it's a hoax, that's frustrating because it wastes valuable resources. But if it's genuine, then it's a whole other problem. The information might not be reliable. After all, it's been more than a decade since the incident. Eyewitnesses' memories often fail them, especially after so much time has passed. That said, it's important not to ignore any potential lead, no matter how small. Every piece of information matters, and you never know when it might lead to a breakthrough. So police are taking the letter seriously and following up on any and all leads. However, it's unclear how far the letter will take them. For now, all we know is that it's helped to keep the case in the public eye. Hopefully, that means more people coming forward with information. Maybe someone feels brave enough to speak up after seeing the recent media coverage and decides to contact the police. Stranger things have happened. What happens next depends on the contents of that letter. Police won't say whether they're looking for the driver or a passenger. Perhaps the letter writer was a passenger in the car and wants to come forward. But if it turns out to be a hoax, that could damage trust between the public and the police. It also means those responsible may never be brought to justice. It's hard to say what will happen, but one thing is for sure, this mystery is far from over. With a letter like this, it's hard to know what to expect, but police are hoping it will lead them to the driver of the car that night. Maybe it will be the break they've been waiting for. Or maybe it's just another red herring in this already complicated case. At the end of the day, anything could happen. Police are urging anyone with information to come forward. Maybe it's not too late for justice to be served. So what do you think? Is this tip-off or another dead end? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more mysteries. Thanks for watching.